Chrysler has always done a fantastic job with their minivans, and it is no different for the Pacifica. As the first and only plug-in hybrid minivan in America, the Pacifica blends practicality with modern technology and fuel efficiency. With this 2025 Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid S appearance, you also get a very sporty and aggressive design. With all the amazing features and the plug-in hybrid technology, should you trade in your car for this minivan? Let's go ahead and find out. Let's begin by discussing the pricing and the trim level like always. The Pacifica Hybrid comes in 3 different trims known as the Select, the S Appearance which we have today, and the Pinnacle. The Pinnacle is the most luxurious and the most expensive out of the lineup. This $57,000 S Appearance model also has some nice features as well, like a panoramic sunroof and rear entertainment. But let's go ahead and check out all the features that this Pacifica has to offer. Starting with the exterior design, you're going to get a fully blacked out grille on this S Appearance model along with a smoked out Chrysler logo, functional ventilation at the bottom, but you get fake vents around the fog lights. The headlights look quite nice for a minivan. They are going to be mostly LED, with an LED daytime running light, a projector style LED headlamp, fog lights at the bottom, and an incandescent turn signal. Moving on to the wheels, you're going to find these matte black 18-inch alloy wheels on the side of this S Appearance model. They look very good, especially with this dark blue paint color and the rest of the blacked out chrome on the side of this car. Moving on to the rest of the side profile, you're going to find your charge port right above your front wheel, a hidden track for your power sliding doors, and blacked out chrome surrounding the windows. You can kick your foot underneath the side of the car to open the door. This can be very convenient if you often have your hands full of kids or groceries. You can also open and close the door multiple other ways, like pushing the button on the door handle, pulling the door handle using the button on the key fob, or the button on the inside. The mirrors are going to have heating, blind spot monitoring, and power folding. They are also going to be finished in gloss black for this S Appearance model. Moving on to the rear end, you're going to find blacked out chrome trim at the bottom, a smoked Chrysler logo, blacked out E-Hybrid branding at the bottom right corner of the tailgate, and this light bar that goes all the way across. The taillights are going to be fully LED with an LED brake light, an LED turn signal, and an LED reverse lights. This actually is the only minivan with fully LED taillights, which is kind of impressive. But the interior is far more important than the exterior of a minivan, so let's go ahead and check out all of the practicality and the features that this has to offer. $57,000 may be a lot of money for a minivan, but I am definitely not disappointed by the features or the technology on the inside of this car. The door panel is going to be made of mostly soft touch plastic. Soft touch plastic is going to be on the upper part of the door. You get brushed aluminum surrounding the door handles, leather on your armrest, white contrast stitching, buttons in matte black, and you get a Harman Kardon sound system. There's also a lot of storage at the bottom. Another nice feature is the umbrella holder. This is class exclusive and a very thoughtful idea from Chrysler. The seats are going to be made of real leather and you get white piping and contrast stitching. You're going to find S branding on the top part of the seat, and the seats themselves are going to be heated, ventilated, and 12-way power adjusting. They are pretty comfortable overall. Now let's get into all of the details on the inside of this Pacifica. The steering wheel is going to be very nicely leather wrapped and heated, however you do not get power adjusting. The buttons on the left are going to control your gauge cluster, and on the right, you have controls for your driver's assistance systems and your cruise control. The gauge cluster is looking a little bit dated at this point because it's been around for 8 years, just as long as this car has been around. There is a good amount of customization though. You can use the left side of the steering wheel. You have some vehicle information like your tire pressure, you have some driver's assistance settings, and you also have some information about your hybrid settings. I like to keep it at the speedometer. You also have your hybrid gauges instead of a traditional tachometer. Materials are not going to be amazing in this Chrysler Pacifica Select. You get soft touch plastic on the upper part, white contrast stitching, hard plastic beneath all of that, some gloss black surrounding your climate controls and other controls, and you have a little bit of weather red to rest your knee against. There is also some more gloss black on the center console. This gear selector is actually made of real metal, so that is a very nice touch. Now let's take a look at storage because this is very important for a minivan like this. Under the center console, which is a sliding door, you'll find a little bit of storage space, 2 USB ports, a DC outlet, and 3 coin holders. You also get 2 cup holders in front of that, and you'll find some more cubbies and 6 USB ports. There's also a wireless phone charger. You also get some underfloor storage. Now let's take a look at the climate controls. I am very happy to say that Chrysler kept physical buttons for most of the controls. To adjust the temperature, you're just gonna push these buttons right here, and then to adjust the fan speed, you're just gonna turn this dial. To get your heated and ventilated seats going, you will have to go into the infotainment system. Thankfully, it is very simple. You can control most functions with this area down here, but I think it is a little bit easier to use the screen, which is something I did not think I would ever say. Chrysler made it very simple, just click comfort right here, and then that will bring up all of your climate menus. You just use the sliders right here to adjust the temperature, and then you can also use the max AC right here, and then adjust the fan speed right here, and then you also have your front and rear defrost controls. Now let's go ahead and check out the main infotainment system. This is probably the best infotainment system in the minivan market right now because this is running the latest Uconnect 5 software. It is very fast and you have plenty of customization. You can add your own widgets like seats and wheel if you don't want to go all the way over to comfort and click the ventilated or heated seats. You also have other widgets like the battery level for this hybrid model, which I think can be pretty useful. You also have built-in navigation and it is pretty responsive overall. When you go into apps, you'll see that you have a lot of different apps to choose from, including Amazon Alexa, but the most family-friendly feature has to be FamCam. You can spy on your children from the screen right here so you don't have to turn your head and look back and get distracted from the road. If one of your kids is a real troublemaker, you can actually zoom into their seat on the right side right there. That way you will always know what's going on in the back. Now other minivans have features similar to this, but Chrysler is thinking a little bit more. In other minivans, if you have an infant in a rear-facing car seats, you wouldn't be able to see them. But with the Pacifica, with the camera mounted a little bit farther back, you actually can. That is also very nice to see because a lot of people will want to see what is going on with their infants. Of course, you can zoom into them like I just showed you. This shifter is made of real metal and it feels quite nice. When you go into reverse, you'll find a very high-resolution 360-degree backup camera. There are also multiple different views you can choose from. The parking sensors also work quite well. It will show up right here. As you can see, I'm getting close to my tripod, so it's going to make a little noise. You can see something right there and on the gauge cluster. It will get a little bit faster as I approach the object. You can also go ahead and find the cameras with vehicle settings. Up top, you're going to find a normal rear view mirror, and you also have a sunglasses holder, which is becoming more and more rare on newer cars. There are also buttons up here to open the rear doors and the trunk. Of course, you will have a panoramic sunroof with a power shade. Now let's see what it's like to be on the passenger side. The door panel is going to be pretty much the same. You get a ton of storage at the bottom, you get leather on your armrest, and soft touch plastic on the upper part. There's also a Harman Kardon speaker grill and an umbrella holder. The seats are going to be pretty much the same. You get S branding, heating, ventilation, 12-way power adjusting, and you also get piping and white contrast stitching. As I mentioned earlier, the materials aren't amazing, so you get soft touch plastic on the dash, and the glove box is a pretty good size. You also have access to heating and ventilation for your seats, which is quite nice. There is also a center pass-through in case you want to store anything down there. But of course, the most important part of a minivan has to be the rear seats and the cargo area, so let's go ahead and check those out. The doors are fully powered and you can open them 5 different ways. There are 2 additional buttons on the key fob to open the doors. However, you can use the kick activated feature if you have your hands full of kids or groceries. With the key in your pocket, just kick underneath the side of the car and the door will open right up. Of course, you can also use many other ways to close it up, like using the key fob or using the button on the inside. You can also push a button on the door handle or you can pull the door handle itself. The Pacifica Hybrid does not come with stow and go seats, so the seats are going to be a lot more comfortable. They will be made of real leather, but they will not be heated. In the back of the Pacifica, you get tons of legroom and headroom as well as amenities. There's a slim seat back pocket, which honestly isn't going to hold a lot, and you also have 2 bag hooks. Each side gets an aux jack, a USB-C port, and an HDMI port. Of course, the HDMI port is so that you can play video games on your rear entertainments. There is also a third zone of climate control, and the seats recline really far back. Let's go ahead and check out the third row and see what it's like back there. In the third row, you'll find a lot of legroom and headroom. The headroom is definitely class-leading. This seat is slid all the way back for reference, and there is still plenty of space. As far as amenities are concerned, it's going to be all plastic back here, but you get a USB port, 2 cup holders, a storage cubby, and vent on either side. You also get third row sunshades. The middle seat can be a little tight, but you can stretch your legs out, which is really nice. Overall, the third row is solid in the Pacifica, and I think you would be very comfortable back there. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the cargo area. There are multiple ways to open up the trunk, just like the sliding doors. For now, we're just going to use the key fob, but keep in mind that there is hands-free access as well. Cargo area is very important in a minivan because if you're going to be hauling around a lot of people, chances are they're going to have a lot of junk to bring around. Getting into the dimensions, you're going to find 32.3 cubic feet of cargo room behind the third row. That is actually the lowest figure in the whole segment, which is kind of interesting. You're also going to find hooks on the back of the seat, but you don't get a separate cubby. Behind the second row, you're going to find 88 cubic feet of space, and when you remove the second row, you'll find 140.5. There is no stow and go because this is the hybrid. To close up the trunk, you're just going to push that button and walk away, and it's going to automatically close. Now let's go ahead and take a look at what's powering this hybrid Pacifica. Under the hood is a 3.6-liter Pentastar V6 paired with 2 electric motors. That makes 260 horsepower and 236 pound-feet of torque rated to only the front wheels. However, you can get all-wheel drive on the gas model if you want that. That is all mated to an eCVT transmission, which I know isn't everyone's favorite, but you can get up to 30 miles per gallon with using only the gas engine, and you can get 82 miles per gallon if you factor in the electric motors. That is the benefit of an eCVT. A normal transmission probably isn't going to be able to give you that good fuel economy. In addition to having amazing fuel economy, another benefit of the plug-in hybrid is being able to power the car only using the electric motors. You can go up to 32 miles without using a drop of gas if you have a fully charged battery. If your commute is a little bit longer than 32 miles, you're going to want to strategize effectively with the electric motor and the gas engine. If you take road trips often, you will be very happy to know that you can get 520 miles out of this car with a full tank of gas and a fully charged battery. That is not as good as the 600 miles that you get with the Toyota Sienna, but that is still absolutely amazing for a minivan, and I will gladly take that any day. Minivans may not be the most popular thing on the road today, but there is still stiff competition in the minivan markets. The main and only competitors to the Pacifica are the Toyota Sienna, the Honda Odyssey, and the Kia Carnival. Each minivan is unique and great in its own way, and for the Pacifica, you get a lot of great and unique features. First of all, the plug-in hybrid powertrain. You cannot get another plug-in hybrid minivan, so if you need a plug-in hybrid powertrain, the Pacifica is your only choice. Also, you get a fan cam. It is obvious that Chrysler put a lot of thought and effort into that feature. On the gas models, you can get stow and go to easily stow the second row into the floor. That is a very unique feature that has been around for a very long time. Also, all-wheel drive is an available option on the gas-powered model, so if you live in a snowy state, you may want to swing for this or the Toyota Sienna with all-wheel drive. As far as dimensions are concerned, the Pacifica is 204 inches long and 78 inches wide. Well, that is going to wrap up today's video on this 2025 Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid S appearance. The Pacifica continues to be an amazing choice in the minivan market, and it is the only van to offer a plug-in hybrid powertrain. 32 miles of all-electric range is going to be a game changer for a lot of people, and 520 miles with a full tank and a full battery is going to be a game changer for sure on road trips. If you are shopping for a minivan, I would highly recommend the Pacifica for a lot of different reasons. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.